So today we will talk about the connecting our applications with the with databases, with SQL Server databases. Having said that, let me have a quick feedback from you people. How many of you were able to see those lecture files that I shared for Tuesday's lecture last? So were you able to, like, did you get a chance to look at those videos that I shared for the Tuesday's lecture? They were all introduction of the databases in general and SQL Server specifically. So how many of you were able to see those videos? If I can get a quick sense of it. Okay, so Vinny, you had a chance to look at all of them. That's excellent. Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. Other than you? Okay, that's excellent. So you also had a chance to look at all three, maybe. Okay, and I have got only response from 2 people till now. Okay, let's change the question a bit. I've only got response from 2 people. Looks like rest of you were not able to maybe see that, or maybe you're not responding here. Anyhow, so now let's change the question. Now the question is that how many of you are familiar with working in SQL Server Management Studio or SQL Server? How many of you have worked in SQL Server before? Yep, I'm just opening that up. I hope you can see my screen. SQL Server Management Studio just starting up. Okay, so you people say that you are already familiar with that. That's excellent. That's very interesting if you are already familiar with that. So we will be just talking about this today, and we'll see. Okay, so there are lots of, like, there are not me as well. Okay, Krupa. So those who are new, or who are saying not me, of course, that's a very loyal answer. But you were supposed to have a look at those videos, like the last week's topic, so that you would have been able to just work your way over here. So what I will do specifically right now is that I will just give you a quick sense of what we are doing, and then we can just I'll just give you a quick introduction, and those who are familiar, of course, they know about that, and those who have looked at the video, they might know about that, and those who are not familiar, they might get a good sense of that right now. But again, I will still request all of you that just have a look at those last Tuesday's video. All right, so let's start our today's application. So we'll start with a very basic application, and we'll just run through this application, and then we'll talk about the rest of the applications, and we'll just look at some other applications as well. So the first thing that I want to create is that, for example, I want to create a database and then combine, or maybe just let's start with something, a basic login screen or something, where we can just allow a user to log into our application. And for that, we will just start that. So I would like all of you to just follow me up. So again, another question: how many of you have this SQL Server Management Studio installed in your systems? You can just write yes or no. So how many of you have this SQL Server Management Studio installed into your system? In other words, you have SQL installed in your system? No, 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 no. Okay, that's excellent. I need a yes or no. Okay. So those who are familiar, they even don't have, like, maybe they have worked in MySQL or something in this SQL structures. I have just seen the no yes has come. Okay, MySQL Workbench, that's excellent. But again, right now we are talking about MySQL, like SQL Server. So MySQL Workbench is for MySQL implementations and that, like that. That's good, Lakshya. So it seems like there are lots of people who do not have that installed into their system. Okay, so let me just give you a quick reference of what you can just do that, what you can just use. Okay, so all of you can use this link just to download, because to follow up the today's application, you need to just have this SQL Server installed into your system. So we are installing this Microsoft SQL Server 2019 Express Edition. So all of you, please go and quickly just download that, grab that, and install that. It will take some time, but again, that would be worth it, because now onward in your project as well, you will be just working on your databases. So that requires you to have a good understanding of that one. So just install this Microsoft SQL Server 2000 Express. I'll just stop recording for a bit because. Okay, so I'm expecting that you can see my screen as well. So here, first of all, what we have to do, you see, as Abhinav asked a question, I'm just repeating that. The SQL Server Management Studio is the UI that gives us this chance to interact with our databases in a drag and drop or maybe writing queries fashion. So you see here on the left, you see, everyone can see that you see your laptop or desktop, whatever name, and your SQL Server installed into it, this one. Now what this says, it says that you have this server which is running. It has multiple databases in it. So you might have lesser than that one, which I have because I have been working on it for a long time. So I have got maybe AP, customer order viewer, examples, my guitar shop, product orders, test DB, user info, like that. So you might don't have any of this databases. You might have some system databases. I'll talk about few of the things, with the lecture, we'll be just talking about that. I will not be discussing them separately. Now, if you see there that in these databases, we can create a new database. So for example, go to this database, right click on that and press new database. Right click and new database. I'm just creating a database from all beginning so that you people get a good idea of that one. So let's call that database as Conestoga, because I don't have a Conestoga database over there. So just install, name it Conestoga. Everyone please be with me and press OK. Just no else setting I have changed. I just created a new database called Conestoga. Do you people see that database in your databases list now? Conestoga? So this Conestoga database is now with me. Valdeep, thank you. So this has a lots of things, and I would recommend you people to just learn about SQL Server. That's one of the very important tool these days if you have to work on relational database management. So you will have to work on that. Anyhow, so this is Conestoga, and it has a folder called tables, which might not have any any user defined table, because we have not defined any table as yet. I'll show you both ways of defining tables, how you can define like that, or maybe. So it's just doing expanding. No worries. We just don't want to be wasting our time. Go to this Conestoga, right click on that. Right. And okay, just hold on a minute. Just keep on expanding that. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes it becomes, a bit. Oh, it's taking too much time. I don't think it should take that much of the time. Oh, it's not like anything else on. My system is not doing anything. I'll have to take any alternate action. I hope you people are able to. Oh, it's gone frozen. I hope you are hearing me at least. It's only SSMS which has gone stuck. Okay, Deep, thank you. It means my SSMS has gone stuck, looks like. Just hold on a minute. Sometimes it gets stuck and I don't know why it's doing that. Not allowing anything at all. Okay, so that's thankfully now it is gone now. So I am opening that one, SQL Server Management Studio again, yet again. So all of you have now this Conestoga database in your database. So again, connect that one. Now, if I open up these databases, so you see here, I have got this Conestoga database as well. If you open that up, expand that one. Now, go into these tables and right click on this table and say new table. So you have to right click on table, new table. Click on that. So we are just creating a user ID field, for example. It will be integer type. My system is sometimes, you know, it does that. So int, I want to give it that int, allow nulls. I'm just allowing null, for example, and you say username, and this will be varchar. There is a varchar 50, and let's say password, and that is also varchar 50. Right, so I have just created these three fields: user ID, username, and password. So we are you know, starting with the login screen, and then I'll tell you how you can just make more CRUD operations. You know, the CRUD operations you talk about, this is create, read, update, delete. So right now we are just reading and trying to read that one. So now all of you are done with this one. So when you are done with this one, if you press Control S, it will ask the table name, right? So I can call this table as user info, for example, or you can call it anything. I'm calling it user info, right? And press OK. Now this is one way of creating the tables, and I'll tell you the other ways as well. So now if I close this one, it's all done. Like I have got my table here. So if I hopefully successfully open these tables, expand these tables, please don't hang now, because it got hanged last time when I expanded these tables. I'll just have to wait patiently for that. So if you open up these tables, expand this table, which I am doing unluckily, but you would see that now your user info table should be there. Are you people able to see that? By the time it is expanding for me, I'll just open that. Okay, Rubble says yes. So it means that my system is today, even though I use it a lots of time, but today it's just, you know, behaving very odd. So how many else you see your table, like user info table over there? Rubble can see that. Baldeep can see that. Thank you, Baldeep. Akriti can see that. Good to see that, Akriti. Somehow it's having some problem with my system. I don't know. Looks like I'll have to just also, you know, restart my system. Looks like, because it's just, you know, maybe it's getting some. So I've been waiting patiently that it should do that, but it's not. It's checking testing my patience, you know. Now I have to lose my patience, and I'll just start knocking on it, and I'll close that one. Okay, so just hold and wait for me. I will just, you know, log out and log in again, because I will be just, you know, doing this restart because it's causing a problem. So all of you can now see a table over here, right? dbo.userinfo. So please remember that for a particular for a particular, for a particular happening, for a particular database, it says that DBO, and that says dbo.userinfo, right? So now what we'll do is that you can do one interesting thing. You can just right click on it. So as I told you, I'm telling you all the ways of how to do it. And you say that edit top 200 rows, edit top 200 rows. If you do that, okay, okay. So do people see that? So what I'm doing, that for example, for this user ID, I'm saying 1, for example, and I say user 1, and for password, I'm saying pass1, just to make it easy, right? So I've just stored 3 records in it. If you store them and close this one, I have closed that one. If you go to this one and right click again and say select top 1000 rows, if you do that, let me show you what happens. So it will just give a quick query over here. I'll talk about that query, and it will show the data which has been there. You know what I mean? So if I just close this one and I again I again edit top 200 rows, for example, I say right now I'm giving it by myself, and you know that we can do that. That will be automatic. So let me enter 3 records for 3 users. User 3 and pass 3. So I've just defined this user 3, user 2, and user, and I just want to check them with my code. So you're right. So if now I have saved 3 records, if I just go and select top 1000 rows, you will see that I have 3 rows coming up over here. Now this is one way of making tables. There is another way of making tables, and rather making databases as well. If I just close that one, right, and you see, you will find something over here, new query. Do you see, all of you see that new query over here? If you go to new query, you have got a query option open over here, and it's a very interesting one. This is an environment where we can write our queries by ourselves. Now, I have created this Conestoga database by automatically right clicking and using this, what you see is what you get editor. Now if you want to create a database by yourself, you have got this option. So you write create database, right? And maybe I'm just creating another Conestoga 1, right? I'll delete this database later on. Create database Conestoga 1. I have written this one query. I'm writing these queries basically. You remember I've opened up this new query, and now I'm writing these queries. Everyone is with me? Now, after writing this statement, you need to do something. Either you need to, right now, there is only one statement. What I'll do is that I want to execute this query. So when we want to execute this query, you'll go to this execute and press execute. You see what it says? Commands completed successfully, completion time something something something. We are not concerned. But we don't see the database over here. So if you go to the databases and refresh that, you've got a refresh option. Do you see Conestoga 1 also over here? Everyone can see that? Okay, that's good. That's excellent. People can see that. Okay, so now let me show you something interesting. Right. So what we have done, we have just tried to create this database, and let me just show you. So the database is created, but there is one very important thing to note. Right now, if I run any other query, because I have created the database, but if you see over here, do you see at the top corner of your this corner of your window, you see that database selected is Conestoga, not Conestoga 1. So now if I want to use this database for some queries, I'll have to use this use keyword. Use Conestoga 1. You know what I mean? If I just run this query, okay, to run an individual query, I don't want to run this now. This line 1, I don't want to run now. I want to run this one only. So I will select this one and I say execute. Command completed successfully. I have selected this one, by the way. People might start it again. What is changed? Do you people see any change in on my screen? What has been changed? The database, if you see here, the database has changed from Conestoga to Conestoga 1. It means now whatever I will do, I will be doing that inside Conestoga 1 rather than Conestoga 2. Sorry, Conestoga by itself, like only Conestoga. So I will be now doing that inside this Conestoga. You understand, everyone? So database has changed. Now, if I want to create a table in this database, I can write a statement: create table. Right? And now, if you remember that these tables are created by this DBO, as I said, database object. This is called database object. So I can create a DBO table inside DBO, and what I want to name this table, for example, again, I'm calling it user info, as I have created in that, because that was the other database. This is the other database. User info. Now a parenthesis. Remember, it should be a parenthesis now, rounded bracket. Right? I want to create this one, and I'm just creating the same that I created. So for example, I say user ID integer. Right? So usually we write the keywords in the capital. It's not necessary, by the way. And for the timing, I'll say not null. So I am not allowing that this should be null. Again, I don't want to just maybe I'll just create exactly the same table as we have created by using that one. So user ID int. I want to create a user ID int. I want to create username. Sorry, username, and I want to put that as varchar, 50 characters, and not doing anything at all. I'll tell you that how we can just do all those things. And what was the name of the other one? Let me just see in the Conestoga folder, in the Conestoga table. If I just look at the rows of that one, username and password. Okay, so I'll just create that. And now I will create a password. And again, it should be varchar and 50 characters. Right? And that is all. I just want these things. Right? So I am creating a table. I want to create a table over here. Remember, right now, I'm creating a table in Conestoga 1. Please be very sure. Always remember to check which database you are in. And this use is the shortcut of using that. And you can just drop it down and select database by yourself as well. Anyhow, so I will tell you this use keyword, right? So now if I select this statement only, so whatever statement you want to run, just select that one. Select that one and press execute. You see one row affected, one row affected, one row affected. It means there is a new table being created. But where? In this Conestoga 1 now. If I open that one, if I open my tables, you'll find that DBO user info, it's created over here. Everyone can see that? DBO user info. Now we have created a table by using, another way, by using query. Before I created in Conestoga, I created drag and drop. Now I'm creating by using the queries. So database table is there. Now I want to insert data into it. So insert, there is another insert statement for that. Insert into. Right? Insert into. And first of all, you will have again the database like table name. So what I'll do is that DBO dot user info. Right? Insert into this one. Now, What are the fields over there? The first field is user ID, comma. The second field is what? Username, comma. The third field is what? Password. So I'll first give the fields. And this is optional. You can just leave out the fields as well. Then there comes another keyword. And what is that keyword? Values. Right? Now I'll provide the values. For example, I say 1, comma, user 1. I'm exactly putting in the same data. Pass 1 and close this one. Right? So I'm inserting the data into it. So now if I just select this one, remember to select before running this one and execute the query. One row affected. Let's do that this same thing for 2 more records. Control C, Control V, Control V. So I want to say ID 2, user 2, and pass 2. ID 3, like pass 3, and this one is 3 as well. And now, since I have already installed that, put that one, so I will just do that, execute. Right? So now I have used alternate way of creating table. I have created table by using my SQL queries. Now I want to see that what is the data inside. What is the data inside that one? Right? So for that, what I'll do, select Starist from user info. Right? I want to select a Starist from user info. If I select that one and I execute that, you see I get all the data over here. Is that right? So how many of you have successfully created Conestoga and Conestoga 1? You know, by the way, both are representing exactly the same data, but one of them is being created by using the drag and drop. The other one is being created by using by writing the queries. Okay, so these are the queries. So I'll just take a quick short, break. So by that time, I'll ask all of you to just complete this one and let me know when I'll be back. Again, I have someone on my someone knocking off the gate.